Am I gay test. And this is what happens when I use the tier list maker website. Am I gay test happens. All right. Oh, the am I gay test has gone away now. All right. Doing a Contra tier list. Doing a Contra tier list. Let's see. How many tiers do I want? S, A, B, C, D. I'll add a D. Or an E, rather. E tier. Add a little Contra playlist. What's a good color? Like E. No, let's do this. Damn, Contra 4's got some good music. Alright. Why do I have these bookmarks? I don't even know. But anyway, Contra 4. Oh, sorry. This is a Contra tier list. Contra tier list, so that's what we're doing. I'm gonna add two more tiers. European PC games, LOL. Chinese mobile games, LOL. Alright. So this is Contra, just the regular like arcade game. This one is really good in my opinion. I just replayed it a little bit. That would be this one, right? The PS2 version of the game. Honestly, I think it's a really solid arcade game. It's on the short side, but it is difficult. I think I saw some video where some guy was talking about how this game costs like $5 to beat. I don't know. It's not really that unfair. I mean, there's difficulty options. You can set it to 7 lives. You can set it to easy. So I mean, like, even if you're in the actual, I guess it depends on the cabinet settings. I'm doing bad here, as you can see. There's no reason I should be dying, but also when you're given so many lives, you kind of play careless. That's kind of the deal. But no, this game is non-stop action, even on the lowest setting. This game is non-stop action. It's really fun. It's just a fun game. Like, you gotta respect the enemies. It's good run and gun action. Not every Contra game has good run and gun action. Some of them are just boss rush games, to be honest. The music's solid. I wouldn't really say it's as good as maybe the NES music or, you know, the 16-bit music. Still solid for what it is. Arcade music is kind of hit or miss. It's kind of like, you know, tends to be a little rough sounding. I don't know. This is the actual arcade version in Contra Collection. So I played that one twice in 2 different versions. I kind of like the view. So that was different on PS2. I guess they made the view, you know, they kind of stretched it out. This is how it is. This is the actual arcade game, and I was just like I was really impressed by it. As I said, it's on the shorter side, but given the difficulty, I feel like that's the difficulty, and considering the difficulty and the length, I think it's kind of very acceptable, because, you know, it's a short game, but it's gonna, if you're, you know, playing this in the actual arcades and stuff, it's gonna take some effort to, especially to 1cc. I'm sure you get a lot of playtime if you're trying to 1cc this game, but it's not that ridiculous. I mean, you can see so there's a lot of action per second, so I really think it's a quality game. And, you know, it's the first game, so you gotta acknowledge that it did start it all, and for good reason, because it's actually a good game. Contra. Again, I did not play every freaking Contra game. These are a bunch of European PC games. No, I didn't play the European PC games. I'm sorry. Is this the Famicom version of Contra 1? I mean, that's like basically the same thing. It's like slightly better than Contra 1. But Contra 1, where is that? What the fuck is this doing in there? That was surprising. I don't remember that. So I played like a few versions of this game as well, Pro Protector and all that. Contra 1. Oh, what can you say? It's like what do you want to call it? The templates almost. I mean, so many games even after this just copy Contra 1. They're basically like trying to be reimaginings or remakes because it's just it's the perfect template of a Contra game. I would say it's better than the arcade game. It's not as much action per second. The arcade game has more action per second, but this game is very fairly designed. You're not gonna die from like bullshit. Like every single death is your fault. It's reactable. You learn from it. It's a very fairly designed game despite its reputation. Like, this is the game that gave Contra the reputation of being hard and, you know, popularized the Konami code. I've never used the Konami code for this game because it doesn't need it, but or any game really. I will never use the Konami code for anything, but it's really good. I've never played it 2-player. I know that that's one of the highlights for many people. If I played this game 2-player, I'm sure it'd elevate it further, but as it is, I think it's a really good side-scrolling NES game. It doesn't take long to learn and clear. Like, this is not a hard game. Probably harder than Super C though, to be honest. But no, this is not a hard game, and back in the day, it was just a regular video game. Their goal with this was not to make something hard. It was just like any other video game. But then it gained that reputation somehow. I guess just because one hit death. But considering how fairly designed it is and everything, it's like I don't know. It seems kind of weird that it gained that reputation. But it's also because it's a popular game. When a game is popular and it's not Nintendo stuff, right? A lot of the best-selling NES games, it's all Nintendo stuff. The best-selling non-Nintendo NES game is actually TMNT, which is why I think the game is so notoriously infamous for its difficulty. But the fact is just that Konami games are harder than Nintendo games. So maybe people that kind of just play Nintendo stuff kind of overrated the difficulty of Konami titles. But all things considered, Konami is not that crazy in terms of difficulty on the NES. I don't know, like probably, you know, some of their shmups, and then Castlevania 3 is their hardest stuff. What's that one game that everyone says is impossible? I forget its name. I've never played it. I don't think it's a Konami game anyway, but yeah, like you think of Konami difficulty on NES, you think of Gradius, Contra, TMNT. I mean, these are not insanely difficult games. In fact, they're like, along with Gradius, like Gradius NES is more fair than, you know, the other versions of Gradius or the arcade version. Same deal with Contra. Although Contra, if I'm just being honest, is as a whole a lot easier than Gradius as a franchise. And then this is the Contra Famicom edition, if I'm not mistaken. Let me like confirm that that's the case. No, what the fuck is this then? What is this? What? What is that? I'm not sure. What am I looking at exactly? Oh, wait. I forgot. Oh, this is the MSX game. So no, I played the MSX game. Silly me, I just didn't know what the cover looks like. So, yeah, this is the cover of the MSX game. So it's impressive for what it is. Like, the MSX can't really handle action that well. It can't do scrolling, so it's like a you know, this whole game is kind of like going from screen to screen. You know, you go from one screen to the next. It doesn't really have a great flow to it. I actually found it kind of irritating because there were times where there's just a bullshit thing on the next screen that you just can't foresee, because you just can't react to it when you get you know, put onto the next screen. So that's where I don't like this game. I respect that this game is way better than the European Contra games because, well, it's developed by Konami, and MSX games are as a whole more professional than what you'd find on, you know, C64 and crap. Which I don't know if one of these this is probably like a C64 game right here. No, I did play that like for maybe 2 minutes, and you know, I saw the reality. I saw that it's just horrible, so didn't bother anymore with that. But no, I mean, you can see it's kind of awkward. It's kind of awkward. They do make it like, because you got limited design, because you just got a screen here, so I'm just kind of awkwardly in the corner, like getting 2 hits on this guy at a time while I prevent that guy from popping in. It's kind of awkwardly designed with the MSX limitations, so that's what holds it back. And also, I remember these things are kind of bullshit. These things really steal your lives. But no, I think it's like pretty like it's a decent average game. IMO, that's what D is. So let me like whatever. I'm not gonna explain. This is like a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for me for video games is decent. As someone that likes video games, a 5 out of 10 is good. A 5 out of 10 means that it's a decent video game, and I like video games, so that's good. D is not bad. Let me do that. And then mediocre. And then, like, you know, this is like goated video game. This is like very solid, fun, quite fun. And then this is greatness. This is basically, and then, you know, embarrassing, pretty much. And then it will probably go lower than embarrassing. I think I misspelled embarrassing. Yeah. No, I didn't. Never mind. What the fuck am I talking about? I got it right. It's just been a while since I saw that word. I was kind of confused. It's really 2 S's and 2 R's. Weird. Let me do Contra hardcore. So first of all, let me bit of a disclaimer. I did not beat all of these games. You know, hardest setting, got the true ending, because I didn't like all of these games equally. Holy shit, my haircut then. I don't really care though. I did not like all of these games equally. So I didn't put in the same love and effort into all of them. So that's a big disclaimer. That's why I'm not making like a huge video going like through all the Contra games, because I feel like I'm not qualified, but I am qualified for a low effort tier list video. Not a video where I'm gonna go through and like write a script and do editing. That is not what I don't have the qualifications for that. I did do that for Yoshi, because Yoshi is a baby game franchise that I feel like, I mean, the thing is, did I earn that? Like, I feel like, do you really have to 100% all the Yoshi games to do that? I don't think so. I feel like that's a little extra, so I did not 100% all the Yoshi games. Maybe that's the point of that franchise. Contra's, the point is probably like, you know, beat it hardest setting, 1cc. But like, I don't know, I feel less qualified for Contra than Yoshi for whatever reason, even though I did put more effort into like actually beating the Contra games. Obviously it kind of just requires more effort, but where's the Contra hardcore soundtrack? What is this? Okay. Alright, then we got the Tiger Electronics. I'll be honest, I did play this for a few minutes. And I realized, you know, this is like actually a long game, and I just had to drop it because it's the same 5 things that can happen in the game for, I don't know how long it is. Has anyone actually beaten the Tiger Electronics Contra? I'm gonna have to put this in the Chinese mobile game, because they probably do manufacture these in China in factories. It probably has a made in China on the back, so I think that definitely counts for that. Super Contra was quite a solid arcade game, just like the original. Probably slightly better. Oh yeah, I mean, this game's pretty cool. Oh, you got some cool power-ups though. Yeah, I think Super C is just kind of like a better... Oh, you got these top-down sections. I don't know. I think the top-down sections in this game were actually quite good. I prefer the top-down sections in this game over the tunnel stuff that you'd see in Contra 1. I think it's probably just better. It's preferable for me. I don't like the tunnel stuff that much. And look at this, like, this is very fairly designed. You can see that it's very, like, forgiving. Like, visually, it's like, oh, you're dead. But no, like, it's very forgiving, very fairly designed. You see that it looks like I should have died there, but no, I was able to avoid all that. So yeah, this is just like the first Contra. It's very, you know, lots of things happening. You gotta pay attention, like, throughout. You know, most seconds you just gotta look. You just can't take your eyes off the screen. That's what's good about these Contra arcade games. Obviously, the visibility is kind of like, you know, you wish you could see it. This is like a DS game, except better because it doesn't have like a gap in two screens. But yeah, it's kind of like a DS visibility, but you kind of wish there was more horizontal view. Contra arcade cabinet. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about like the view here. I mean, it works, but I do like that the NES game gives you further view. I can see why it is this way, because you can just kind of inch yourself forward and like take everything out one by one very slowly, and that would maybe trivialize this game. So that's why they don't give you a lot of visibility. But anyway, I think it works well for what it is. It's really hard to get upset over Super Contra. It's a solid game. And then we got some like European like PC. Like, what is that? It's Super C for, what is it? DOS. For DOS. I wonder if am I loud enough? Probably fine. It's probably fine. This is kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I like the, what is this? Super Contra? What is this? There's multiple versions of this. I need to check what this stuff is, because Super Contra, this is arcade. But what is this? Super C? Like, what is this? That is what is confusing to me. Super C, what is this? Super C, I'm gonna look up like Amiga. Like, is that the Amiga Super C? Oh wow, it actually is. It has the same logo. That's the Amiga Super C. First of all, surprisingly, surprisingly, like, pretty cool, wavy rainbow logo. Like, that's pretty cool, I'll admit. These games have style. They tend to be lacking in actual game design. First of all, look how fucking choppy this is. But, I don't know, it might not be that bad, but regardless. It is a European PC game I will never bother with. It doesn't make sense to do that. Not really deserving of your time or respect. Not a real video game. Not a real Konami game. Not a real Contra game. It's just how it is. Super C. Nah, Super C, like I was saying, Super C for me is just kind of like, you know, it's like the NES Contra, but better. And first of all, I kind of like that your bullets are bigger. Like, I love the graphics more than, I don't know, I kind of like that just the bullets in general are larger. It's, and in general, I kind of think the game just kind of looks better than the OG Contra. But no, I mean, Super C, it's like everything. Wait, actually, I kind of want to compare them side by side, because they do kind of seem like pretty different. Not that. I don't know. Is your character smaller in Super C? That's what it looks like, which honestly is probably a good decision. But yeah, no, I think Super C is I mean, Super C is actually my second favorite. Honestly, it's my second favorite Contra game. I don't have any complaints. It's just a great video game, great design. The settings are, I think, more interesting than, okay, wait, I hate this, actually, probably. The settings, I think, are, you know, more interesting. I mean, I guess you can sort of see, but yeah, this part is kind of fucking hard to avoid those mouths if they spawn directly on top of you. But no, I prefer these top-down sections still over the tunnel sections in Contra 1. But yeah, I mean, this is like the most, I don't know, this is probably the most like, not reasonably difficult. I mean, this is probably one of the easier Contra games, to be honest, is kind of how I remember it, but it's still very fun. Damn, I mean, it's pretty, like, there's a lot of shit going on. It's pretty hard to avoid all that. This guy's like a cool final boss, I seem to recall. There's being he's not even the final boss. He just takes you to... This is all, like, super cool. Like, just the visuals and settings and stuff, I think are super cool in this game. I just think it's... for me, I just think it's better... It's just better than Contra 1. It's like Contra 1, but improvement. It's better. I just like more. What else can I say? What else can I say? Do I have anything... how do I say this? Anything profound to say? Really, no. This is all just like going on feeling basically as well. It's not even. I'm not even looking at these critically. What happens? Okay, I'm not even looking at anything critically. Just like basically how I feel about the game. It's all feelings, emotion based. Operation C. You know, can you really go wrong with Operation C? Where is it? Wasn't Operation C? Yeah, this was one of the first Contra games I played. Holy shit! How long ago was that now? 1 year ago. Wait. I guess, but 2 years soon. I don't know. I kind of assume that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. This feels like it's been longer. Because I feel bad that I've not finished the Game Boy video yet. Damn, I mean, it does take a long fucking time to make that video. But anyway, Operation C, no, it's as good as you would want and hope Contra to be on the Game Boy. It is like a kind of, you know, it is very similar to these games, of course. 8-bit console, same, you know, it's Konami. Oh, I like the little homing, like, homing bullets you do. I forgot about that. But that's very cool as well. Do I really have a reason for not thinking that this is on the level? Maybe it's just kind of like a little slower than these games. Maybe that's why I don't like it as much. It's actually kind of, it might be harder than these games, to be honest. I was kind of surprised. Like this kind of last section with this guy with the missiles. This guy is actually pretty hard to avoid. Look at that shit. Like, this guy is pretty hard. And I actually find this kind of irritating. What? How'd that hit me? So yeah, this is kind of why it's a bit lower for me. Is like, I don't even know how. I guess there's explosions on the ground, but I don't know. It's kind of less clear. It's kind of less fair, kind of less clear why you died. And you know, it's in black and white, so kind of maybe it's lacking in some clarity as far as like being able to you know, see has like bullets or anything, obstacles that you need to avoid. But no, I mean it's good for what it is. Like I don't. Oh wait, I don't like these top-down sections. Actually, they're fine. They're fine. I don't know. I would probably put this somewhere in the middle. I would say maybe, you know, it kind of probably deserves to be better than Contra 1 because Contra 1 Arcade, because you know it's just a lot more levels. But Super Contra seemed to be, you know, expanded a little bit longer. And the power-ups were cool in that game, so I'd probably put Super Contra Arcade still higher than. Oh wait, that's actually a part of the regular logo. I would still have to do that. Okay, Contra Alien Wars. What the fuck? Where's my Contra playlist? Why is it showing me DK Will? Oh shit. I don't even watch that guy, which is the weird thing. He's showing. Am I subbed? Maybe. He is the best Brawl DK of all time. So, Contra Alien Wars. That was weird. Why was that my... Anyway. Oh, this is not the right one. Damn, did I overrate, like, the Game Boy Contra? This game's cool, though. I do wonder if I was wrong by thinking that it's better than Operation C. I think that was kind of wrong of me, but I can't backpedal now. I did rank this higher than Operation C. on my Game Boy list. It seems like inaccurate. And also, I fucking played this game like lowest setting and all that shit, probably. So I was bad. I was bad at the game. But I don't know. This part's really cool though. I don't know. I mean, it's impressive for what it is. But we're not talking about it yet. Where's the other Alien Wars? Oh, this game is horrible. The GBA one? Wait. Oh, so yeah. So here's my hard mode playthrough for this one. Oh yeah, so this is kind of the thing that also it's funny that you can just kind of do this and do more damage. But yeah, that's the strat. That's part of the strat in Alien Wars and you can spin around. That's not very useful, but it's cool. Yeah, I mean, part of the strat of this game is just get this sort of weapon and switch them on and off. Not on and off, but you know, switch between them. Do way more damage that way, which is kind of weird, but these top-down sections is actually one of the reasons why I kind of think of this game a little lower than maybe some other people. You know, it's only my third favorite Contra game, which is still very good, but still very good because you know you kind of can't deny the excellence of the side-scrolling sections, and honestly, just I don't know, everything about this game is just really cool. Somehow I have 9 lives. I think you can start yourself with 7 lives, maybe. But yeah, what's kind of dumb is that you're required to do hard mode to see the ending, I believe, or see the last level or final boss or something. Or I think it's to see the ending, to beat the game. Why that's stupid is that you have to change off the default setting, the default difficulty of the game. So at that point, if you're changing off the default difficulty setting, you may as well ramp up the lives because you're not even doing it the default way. So I think that was my logic. But yeah, it's not necessary to raise your lives. But this game is really hard. Even with 7 lives, this game's actually quite hard. It matters a lot if you die and lose your weapon. It's a big disadvantage. Oh, this part is kind of annoying. This part is kind of annoying as far as the deaths. Oh, this is one of the best tunes in Contra. This one. Yeah, this level's so... There's just stuff in this game that's kind of annoying. Like, this level is... I don't think the top-down section gameplay is great. And a lot... It's just like, you just walk around an area, it's repetitive, you destroy the enemy spawners. And then this whole boss is, like, annoying. Like, the boss is fucked up. Like... Yeah, like, what? How did I die here? But, like, this thing on the ground messes up your movement. It's just so annoying. See, this thing that you can have is very cool. It's very satisfying to use. That's another part of the cool factor. Somehow, like, I actually forgot about a lot of this stuff in this game, but to be fair, I probably forgot about a lot of shit in all of these games. The final boss is definitely one of the hardest parts of the game. No, this game is exactly what you'd hope that, like, a 16-bit, yeah, and then you can actually destroy one of these for, like, points, is what is part of the strat. But, like, there's parts of this final boss I just still don't know how you're supposed to dodge. Still no idea how you're supposed to dodge, like, this one, like, I don't know, you just gotta know exactly where on screen you can't get hit. I don't know, it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of just complete trial and error. You just have to know. This part's kind of annoying because you can accidentally drop off and die. It's happened to me many times. Yeah, this part's kind of annoying. There's just parts of this game that it's kind of annoying. There's nothing in, like, Super C that I find annoying. I think Super C is just all around really solid. So that's why it's a bit lower, this game. For me, it's kind of annoying at times. It might be cool, but it is a little annoying. Oh, Contra Force. Some may call this a fake Contra game, but actually it has a great soundtrack. But it's slow. But you can, like, switch between all these characters and stuff. And wow, what is this game? You can have like a sidekick. I forgot about that. There's a bunch of different commands. Like, what is this? You can have like 4 different sidekicks. No, I mean, it doesn't really play like anything else in the Contra series. And it's slow, but if you look at it for what it is, it's just a solid NES platformer, run and gun action game. But it is slow. That's the worst part about this game, is that it's just on the slower side. Yeah, I don't actually know how I feel about switching the commands and stuff. But no, I mean, it deserves to be quite fun. There's definitely room for improvement, but it's not on the level of greatness as the real Contra games. What do we got next? Contra Alien Wars. Yeah, this is what I was just talking about. This one. How long ago was this? Holy shit. 3 years? Oh my goodness, dude. Wait a minute. No, I mean, I think it's very impressive how they're able to adapt this to the Game Boy. It really does feel like Alien Wars if you made it 8-bit. It does actually share kind of more similarities to the 8-bit games in Alien Wars itself, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know if I was really... I don't know if it deserves to be above Operation C, but that's what I did on my list. But now it's too far to backpedal that. Actually, I prefer the top-down sections in this game than the actual Super Nintendo top-down sections. Where's the top-down sections? Yeah, I think this is just straight up better than what you play on Super Nintendo. So that is actually impressive that this game managed to be straight up better for these types of levels. IMO. So it definitely deserves some respect. I think this is actually no, I would not. Yeah, it would have to be there for me. This is made by what who? Factor 5, which is like a German-American developer. What else did they do? They did Amiga stuff. They did Animaniacs on Game Boy. Yeah, they only did like 2 Game Boy games, so that's actually crazy. I don't know how they managed to make something this good. But anyway, what else we got? Contra Hardcore. This is my favorite Genesis game, actually. Look at this shit. There's like 5 different playthroughs because this game has 5 different routes, 5 different potential final bosses. Any route that you choose, except for like one of them's like a joke route. But any way you choose to play through this game, you'll see some insane shit. But for the Japanese version, you die in 3 hits, and I realized this was too easy. So the American version or Western version is the real version of the game. It's kind of like Ninja Gaiden 3, where the Famicom version is too damn easy. But then they correct it for the Western release. Same deal here. And the thing is, this game is actually very fair. I mean, you do die in just 1 hit. But I feel like everything, the design language is good enough. You already know how to avoid things like you just saw me avoid all that. Very reasonable. Okay, well, I didn't know he's gonna do that, but I should have. But no, I mean, I didn't play through these routes that much, so that's why I didn't know. The one thing that I think is like really unfortunate about this game is that the most boring level in the game is required for like all the routes except for the joke one. This level is just like super long. You can't really kill the boss. You have to wait for him to just like walk a lot. And it's unfortunate that they make this part required. This is a required part of the game for all the routes. It's too bad because I think it's the weakest part of the game. It's not bad, but it is the weakest part of the game. And I play as this guy. Another thing that's really cool is the character select for this game. The game's got like four characters. I play as the robot because, I mean, he seemed like the best one. Very clearly, he has like a double jump. He has a double. I mean, the dude's got a double jump, and he's small. So that's why I play as him. Brownie. Now the run and gun sections, everything is so solid in this game. Even the games that are, you know, some people call this a boss rush, but I think Contra Shattered Soldier, a real boss rush game, doesn't really have solid run and gun action like this game. Well, yeah, I mean, I go through and it really does look like it's a boss rush game. There's just one route, by the way. The game's got like 5 different endings, 5 different final bosses. It's insane. Like this person's kind of insane. Even just the presentation is amazing. The music's amazing. That's actually what I'm listening to right now. Somehow this looks better than. Honestly, if I'm being honest, it probably looks better than every Contra game that came out after this. I think it actually looks better. But, I mean, this game's just exhilarating. Do I have all of them? Do I have all of them? It's exhilarating from start to finish. I really couldn't ask for much better boss design. Or, you know, better presentation. I really can't. There's the one thing that I don't like is that you have to play that one level every playthrough. The you know, most boring level in the game is this one. That's the only reason it's not SS. It would be SS tier. If you could avoid this, or maybe if it was a better level. But you can just play through this game so many times, see new shit that you didn't know was in the game, and it's all equally insane. All of the endings are kind of equally insane. Obviously, I guess, you know, some of these are longer than other endings, so I don't know if they're all equally equal in difficulty. It seems like that's probably not the case. This guy, huh? This guy? Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this guy. No, I mean, there's zero doubt in my mind that this is the best Contra game. Oh wait, this is just a meme ending. Look at this shit, by the way. That's like the second level. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, this looks amazing for the Genesis. It's like the part everyone shows when they like talk about this game, pretty much. Is this part. It's like the most iconic part of the game. It's not the most interesting part of the game when you actually play it, but visually it's very, very interesting. Where's Route A? Is this the one that I didn't show yet, or did I show that one? I think I showed all the routes. No. I missed one. Route C, Route E, Route A, Route B, A, B, C. Where's Route D? Do I have a Route D? Contra Hardcore Route D. Is that not in my It's not in my playlist? Okay, I added it to my playlist. It was not in my playlist. Oh yeah, this ending's also insane. But yeah, all these final bosses are very cool and memorable. But the game has 5 of them. That's the thing. That's the thing that's crazy about it. Oh god, Legacy of War is the worst video game I've ever played. No, actually, it's not actually the worst video game I've ever played or ever finished. We need another. How do I do this? How do I? Here we go. What? Don't pay attention to my ROMs. What is this? Why can I not edit this? Does this website suck? Whatever, I can do this at least. Contra Legacy of War. Yeah, I mean, this is like easily the worst thing the Contra franchise ever did. This is what happens when you let white men develop a Contra game. But disclaimer, I did play the Saturn version, which is if you ask AI which version is better, they will say the Saturn version. Or Google, if you Google it, they'll say the Saturn version is better. That is not true. If you actually compare the PS1 gameplay, it's way faster and smoother, so I don't know what they're talking about. The graphics are even better on PS1. So this was a big mistake to play this on Saturn, but granted, the game is so bad it doesn't really matter anyway. If it was like if it was greater than a 1 out of 10 video game, I would have checked out maybe the PS1 version, but unfortunately it is a 1 out of 10 video game, and I would just never go near it ever again. To get through these levels, I mean, first of all, the game kind of, the way it does passwords, you kind of want to like do the early levels as good as possible, so you have many lives going forward during the final stages. It's kind of obnoxious password system, but I don't know, it's kind of like there's no, the design is so bad, there's no clarity. It's kind of like you just play these levels until you miraculously don't get hit, because you can't even tell what's going on in this game, to be honest. You just play through the levels. You play through the levels enough times, and eventually you might clear it without dying many times. And then you get to say, and then that's a good point to save the game. So that's kind of how I went through this game. But it just gets worse and worse. So you think the game is like pretty bad immediately, but then what's crazy is that the final level is actually the worst part of the whole game. It actually gets worse, which you don't even think is possible. I don't know what this dude in my chat's talking about, but. It gets with this fucking, what is this? This is a Super Mario Galaxy level, but no, it's like plays at 25% speed. Oh man, hold up, I need to see how I died. Oh shit, no, I need to see how I died, because I remember absolutely hating this level. Like, can you even tell what's going on? The dude ate me. Yeah, it's also unclear what you're even supposed to be doing on this level. You just go around and shoot these, like, egg things. And because it's like a Super Mario Galaxy level, you can barely shoot in the directions you want, because it's a freaking Sega Saturn game doing a Super Mario Galaxy level in the Contra franchise. You wonder what is even going on here. You can't shoot any direction you want for this level in 25% speed. So that's how this game ends. It actually gets worse sometimes. I don't even know how it's possible. I don't even know how it's possible, but it got worse. But I did beat it. It was the worst Saturn game I ever played in my life. It was the worst Saturn game. I can't believe how long it took. Do you see how fucking long this game is? Do you see how long? And you might be like, okay. You might be like, okay, but maybe you're just bad at the game. But, you go here. You go, first of all, I'm not the only one that thinks this, right? Let's see, Contra. Hold up, he gave it a 1, which is higher than me. So technically, I would have given this a 0.5 for his rating scale, because I gave it a 1 out of 10, but this is a 2 for him. Well, look at this. It took him 19 hours. I'm pretty sure I also did default difficulty. Took him 19 hours. This game is long as fuck, dude. This horrible, horrible game is so long. I don't know how long it is. Like, this level is kind of cool, like, visually, but, it's kind of cool visually, but, there's, you know, you just can't fucking tell what you're supposed to be jumping on most of the time in this level. Like, again, clarity is just a huge problem with this game. Like, what the fuck just happened there? How did I die? Does anyone know how I died? This is what you're dealing with when you play this game. You're like, what the fuck? How did I die? You play, you know, a couple more times the level until you get lucky and the game doesn't like glitch kill you. Like, what the fuck is this? So let's actually take a look. This is what we're dealing with. This is how bad this game is. I've got 4 lives. How did I die here? Okay, I tried to make a jump and then this happens. And I just keep dying because the game like glitches. This is what happens in this game. This is why it's a 1 out of 10 video game for me. It's not even functional. All my lives depleted because I tried to jump and the game doesn't work correctly is what happened. So that's what we're dealing with Contra Legacy of War. It's why it's one of the worst video games ever made, to be honest. See, the Contra Adventure is kind of like a guilty pleasure game for me. I actually think it's kind of like this is on PS1, right? Yeah. This game, it's not great, but it is like kind of better than I thought it was gonna be. Even though I think let's actually do some research. So like, look at this, Contra Legacy of War, 6 out of 10 from IGN, and then see the Contra Adventure. Like, this could not be further from the truth. Like, see the Contra Adventure, this game? Right, Legacy of War is a 1 out of 10, and I showed you the game doesn't work correctly. That was just like, I wasn't even trying to find that. That's just like when you play the game, it happens constantly. Like Legacy of War is not 6 times better than see the Contra Adventure. That's just complete, that is blasphemous, right? See the Contra Adventure is a pretty, like, mediocre game. But mediocre is many times greater than Legacy of War, which is just one of the worst things mankind has done. Now, granted, the 2D, I mean, first of all, the fact that this game has 2D action sections should probably put it above Legacy of War, which has whatever the fuck this stuff is. I don't know what you'd call this. Super Mario Galaxy run and gun sections or something, but I mean, just the fact that it has 2D action sections is a lot more appealing already. But also, I don't even like the 2D action sections in this game, to be honest, but what I thought was actually quite fun was these 3D action sections, which of course, you know, they're very early. 3D doesn't really work great, but a lot of the stuff that people actually like that released back in the day don't play great by today's standards. But this was kind of not that bad. I actually thought the 3D sections were quite fun. They, you know, didn't play great, but you can play the game. You can approach it kind of methodically to when you know, decide which enemies to take out first and stuff. So it's kind of like you know, if you're playing like Quake or something. Actually, it's kind of visually similar to Quake as far as the textures and stuff. The environments, I guess, it's kind of similar. I remember I was thinking of Quake when I played this. I don't know, this game is not, like, I'm not gonna say it's good because it's a early 3D action game on the PS1, which most of these don't play great by today's standards, and, you know, back in the day they even gave this a 1 out of 10 for some reason. But no, I just think it's like pretty mediocre by today's standards. But honestly, I actually like the music as well in this game. There's some tunes that I was surprised were pretty good. Good music can actually go a long way to save a game. I've beaten many terrible games because they had music that I liked, so that's kind of definitely elevated this game. But no, I mean, even look at this game. This game has so much gameplay variety. I know I'm like talking like I'm gassing this game up. It's not great. But even just like, this game has so much gameplay variety that makes it way more interesting than something like Legacy of War. Many different styles of gameplay, so Yeah, for me it's kind of just mediocre, but people saying that this is somehow worse than Legacy of War, I don't know. I don't trust that they actually played the game. I think that's ridiculous. And look at this, like you can pretty in 3D you can pretty reliably aim where you want to. I'm not having any issue with it really. I mean, sometimes you have to jump, which is kind of awkward to actually hit stuff, but in Legacy of War you can hardly hit anything how you want to. So anyway, this is probably the best tune in all of Contra. Anyway, what is this? This is the GBA game. I thought this was horrible. This GBA game. First of all, it's not Konami. It's made by Tosei. Tosei has great presentation in their games, but they don't really deliver when it comes to gameplay. It tends to be pretty mediocre. But in this case, first of all, this game is kind of a mesh between Contra 3 and Hardcore. By the way, that was stupid because like I'm almost certain you can dodge that on the Genesis game there, but this is, you know, half Contra 3, half Hardcore, which are two of the best Contra games, but it's executed it so horribly. So stuff you would just never die to in the actual games, you die to here because it's just not. I guess they just didn't really give a shit. They only really like cared about making it look the same. It does not play the same. It's actually pretty BS, this game. And you should probably not go anywhere near it because you can just play the actual games that it is stealing from and get a much greater experience. Yeah, I mean, I just thought this game was really irritating. Just the fact that I know the games it's using. I know how to avoid bosses and things, but it just doesn't work in this version. You'll still get hit by things you would never get hit by in the original games. So that's why I just don't like it. I just don't like this game. I would probably go as far as to say I hate this game. That was the feeling I was feeling. But I mean, it doesn't look that bad. Like here, it just doesn't look that bad. But I remember just hating this game. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to put it. I mean, I'll put it in an embarrassing tier. It certainly doesn't deserve to be in the same tier as Legacy of War, but I just thought it was very disappointing for what it was. And obviously, I have no problem with the Game Boy Contra games back in the day because they were actually well done. This is not well done. This is not made by Konami. It's made by a developer that can do good graphics, but tends to not deliver when it comes to gameplay. Just take a look at Starfy. Alright, take a look at Starfy. This is the Starfy developer. And I think they did like Super Princess Peach and stuff too. These are games with good graphics. They just don't play well. Generally speaking, are just kind of lacking in design. So these guys could not handle, you know, porting the two of the greatest Contra games. They just, what the hell? What is YouTube recommending? Moving on, Shattered Soldier. I'm gonna use the bathroom first. what's up? So Contra Shattered Soldier was a game that grew on me because at first I was like, this shit is boring, man. And I mean, I think that's pretty valid because there's a lot of... It's PS2 era game design, so they care so much about cinematics here. Which is kind of really unfortunate because you just kind of gotta sit through these like cutscenes, like 30 seconds at a time cutscenes, during like boss transformations and stuff. I mean, this game is essentially a boss rush game as well. The run and gun sections are actually very weak in this game. It's pretty much going from one boss to the next. The run and gun sections pretty much don't matter. You're just going through, but it's a very small chance that you'll actually get hit by anything. And if you do, it's probably because you're bored and zoned out. It's the only reason you get hit in the run and gun sections. So really, the main challenge is these bosses, which admittedly are pretty trial and error, but they kind of grows on you when you've done them many times, because it's kind of like I don't know. It's almost like you get to turn your brain off a little bit and just go through and just kind of conquer them and not get hit. You go from being destroyed by the bosses to, I mean, kind of trivializing them, because like the first 4 levels I probably died only once, but you know, it keeps getting to the point where it's like, you know, the game's a cakewalk because you have everything memorized. It's a very trial and error game to, you know, just getting destroyed by whatever thing you've not seen in the game yet. Also, did I die? Oh no, you can go up here. But anyway, I guess I'm not seeing any... Yeah, this boss is probably a good example of how much you just have to wait. You just have to wait to be able to hit the bosses. I don't know, it's just kind of... It does drag on, these boss fights. Especially because you can only hit them in very specific situations. Like right now, I'm not doing any damage to this guy. Gotta wait for his little like thing to open up, and that's how a lot of these bosses are. It's kind of boring. But where this game is kind of fucked up is that you need to get a good hit rate, which is basically just playing through the levels as slowly as possible and destroying everything in view. So you can't even... The game does not allow you to go through it, to blast through it like any other Contra game. If you want to get the good ending and see the final boss, like real final boss or whatever, you gotta go through and get as high hit rate as possible, which just slows the game down even further. And that is kind of what ruins this game for me. That otherwise would be a very good Contra game ends up being just an alright game because I do not care to get a good hit rate, because it actually just kind of makes the whole... I mean, first of all, it's really stupid to lock someone out of a you know, an ending or final level or final boss because they got a B rank or something in a level. You have to get, like, look, I accidentally died here, and that's probably why I got a B rank on this level instead of an A rank, because I accidentally pressed down or something and died like that. So that ruined my chance of getting the final level ending. Wait, no, I got a 97 hit rate. So even on this level, I got a 97 hit rate. Oh no, it's because I died. Mission clear. Well, I got a clear ranking of A, but I got a B total rank, which means I'm locked out of the final level, which I think is so stupid. That is not a thing in, you know, any of these games, any of the classic Contra games. They did not lock you out of the ending or final level because of your ranking, because you didn't go through slowly and hit every single enemy that popped into view, or go through the bosses slowly and destroy all their parts or whatever. That's very stupid. This game only locks you out of the ending or final, yeah, just the ending actually, if you play on normal and easy, which is kind of stupid that it does that for normal, but none of these games, you know, lock you out of the ending for a rank, but this game does, and that's pretty stupid. And I just don't like this game enough to go through and get 90% plus hit rate on all of the levels that, you know, kind of become boring because a whole lot of waiting. So I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think it's a well-designed game, but the, you know, the cinematics, and well, actually, what else is stupid is that if you play this game for 20 hours, it gives you like 6 lives to start, but I didn't play for 20 hours, so I only have like 3 lives, which I think I got 1 extra one because I played for 5 hours. This is really stupid design as well. Why are you are rewarded for your playtime? It's not even a setting that you change. It's not even like you go in settings and give yourself this number of lives. No, it's a permanent change dependent on playtime. You will forever have 6 lives if you play for 20 hours or something, which is really dumb. I don't know. This is modern game logic. If you watch like the speedruns for this, all of them have like 6 lives, which is just a matter of playing the game. You're rewarded for playing the game. You're not actually getting better. You're not developing your skills. You just get more starting lives because you have 20 hours of playtime. That's really dumb as well. That's not a thing in any of these games, right? I don't know why modern game design is so... this is not even modern because the game is like 23 years old or something, but it's pretty much modern for me. I don't play games from the 2000s almost ever, but... I mean, it's just very weird. I don't know why they couldn't just make a pretty standard classic-inspired Contra game, as far as the... You know, not having like a hit rate requirement and not like rewarding players for having the game on for 20 hours. That's very silly. I don't know. All this stuff in this game just doesn't really make much sense to me. And overall, there's a lot of boring stuff. The run and gun action is kind of weak, and the bosses just drag on. So, good intentions. Well, not really. I think a lot of the decisions were dumb, but overall, like the actual design of the game is good. But whoever came up with the requirements and stuff is you know, stuck in samsara forever. Neo Contra. This game surprised me because I realized Contra Rogue Corps is actually based on this game, which I did not realize that there was a like top-down Contra game that anyone like remembered. But no, this game is based entirely. It's really bad. This Rogue Corps is like the 2nd worst Contra game. But it kind of blew my mind because it is really based off this game, Neo Contra, which is not even a game that was like critically praised. It's like a 60 on Metacritic. I don't really care about Metacritic scores, but you know, it's not really a game people like think of. It's not like a classic game. It's like pretty obscure. So I'm very shocked that this game is based on Neo Contra. And the thing is, it's kind of funny that my Rogue Corps skill in quotes, kind of transferred into this game because they play pretty similarly. The thing is, Rogue Corps actually this is like Rogue Corps done well because Rogue Corps takes 0 skill and it's just about making. You see the. Yo, is there a ranking out, Razzo? Hold up, I want to see if there's a ranking. Wait, what did this say? It says the rates the top professional. Look at that, dude. If I'm on here, I'm a top professional. How crazy. Is there a ranking? Oh. Almost. Oh. Yeah, the whole thing kind of makes me upset because I was so much worse. In the beginning of the year than I am, or ended up being by the end of the year. But that's just what happens when it's your first year, your first full year of competing. So I'm sure I'm gonna be like 11th or something. But Mike, I don't know. He's never happy about the rankings. But also, I'm actually deleting Discord. It's scheduled for deletion, so I can't see any of that right now. But well, yeah. I can't be looking at that stuff anymore. I gotta lock in. I'm trying to become Japanese, so I can't look at any. I can't be looking at any English, basically. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure I'm like 11th on the ranking. I'm serious though. I only use Japanese social media right now on X.com. VR chat too. You know, I'd go on the Japanese servers. Um, but yeah, I mean that's kind of lame that it got leaked. I do kind of want to know, but also, yeah, my rank will make me a little upset as well. But yeah, there's no way that Mike was gonna be happy with the ranking no matter what. We're no trying to be Chinese. Yeah, but Chinese and Japanese aren't not comparable. I don't know. I just know that you know, Chinese people torture cats on their version of TikTok and get away with it because it's, you know, completely legal in that country to blend kittens alive and feed it to the mama cat. So it's very different cultures. But yeah, like, see, all of these games are like made in Japan, except the one that's not is this one, which is just really bad. This is a Chinese mobile arcade game. It's really bad. No, it is true. Heard Kaios is over Mike. Dude, why would he not be though? I mean, first of all, the thing is, they're like, you know, what do you call it? It's Mickey, right? It's Mickey because people will be, you know, like Vex's Ganondorf or something, and they're like, oh shit, this is a really good win. This is like a win on Vex. So we gotta put this guy here now. And you know, what else? What else? Let me find something. Let me find something. Because it's not really using human logic. It's like let's look at this for a second, right? So you got like this is like Hinkage's best win, but are we gonna pretend that, you know, a win on his freaking Olimar or what ZSS, like did these characters beating Mike? I mean, you know, they went back and forth. But are we gonna pretend that, you know, I don't know anyone that lost to Lux's like ZSS. I'm not saying that he didn't beat anyone, or I don't know anyone that his like Olimar beat. And first of all, the thing is they played again in the bracket, and Lux somehow lost like the Falco DD matchup, and then went Ices. But anyway, basically this is like Hinkage's best win. But let's actually see what happens here. Like this is Mickey. That this matters so much for the ranking. Cause look at this shit. Like Lux beat Chia with his DD. Yeah, I mean, I believe Kaios beat Chia with DD as well. Like this is you know, your best win. So you got to be ranked X. This is why I think like placements kind of have to matter as well. Because if you compare, you know, me and Hinkage's placements, it tells a different story. But because he got, you know, he up tilted on Rainbow Cruise at 0% in the joke bracket with the character he doesn't main. That means that he probably is above me if I had to guess on the ranking. And then of course he beat my like Marth and DDD. My one time I used DD in bracket ever. That I don't know what I'm doing with DD, but I showed up to that tournament and had to wing it. That probably also really matters, even though they're not gonna, you know, take into account that I couldn't use my actual character that I would use in that matchup. So now I just have a 1-1 with like Hinkage. That doesn't. It's just like not really using. It's like just being kind of ignorant in many areas and not, you know, like you can't really count people's win on their, you know, fifth best characters, sixth best character, that much, I feel like. But that's what they do, so it's kind of weird. Supernova, yeah, Supernova was one of the only good rule sets and had CRTs as well. So yeah, Supernova and Vacation Land, those were like the most ones that were worth taking. I think philosophy is kind of. I mean, no, I agree with counting everything, but to say like, oh, you know, you beat Vex's D or his Ganondorf, that should not actually count very highly. Like, What is Vex? What is Vex's Ganondorf done? It beat Mike Ray's like Diddy Kong or something. Even though like you look at that point you got to count the low tier bracket. No, dude, at that point you have to count the low. First of all, I can't even show you because guess what? It's been deleted off the internet for some reason. Like if you're gonna count like someone's. Wait, what the hell is this? First of all, I didn't even know that this happened. This happened again. I want to actually see this. Okay. So I mean, okay, that means the game that Vex took offline with Luigi was a fluke, I guess. I guess it was a fluke. Mike Ray's Luigi, kind of fraudulent. I mean, first of all, he's probably drunk, so. Yeah, I mean, but it just gets to the point where like you may as well count the low tier bracket if you're gonna count like beating people's secondaries and stuff because well, first of all, Lux using those characters was actually a choice, but I was actually not allowed to use Meta Knight in one of the brackets. So and they didn't even tell me the rule set until I showed up, so I think that's pretty dumb. So I'm not going to take it that seriously, but that's my opinion. For like, it's funny because like people, Armada loses to Serial Rabbit because he's drunk, but then and it's losing to Kirby, but they know not to count that in Melee. Or when like Mango loses to people because he goes Dr. Mario or something, they know to not count that very highly. Otherwise, Taj would have probably been ranked that one year that he beat Mango at Genesis. Melee doesn't actually do that, where they count people's secondary wins as being something that matters much, but Brawl does. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. Now people are hyping up Player One's rankings. No, I didn't. But wait. Where? How to? Wait, is this like public knowledge in the Discord then? Like in the Brawl Central, the ranking? Can I like see it if I go on? It was leaked? That's crazy. First of all, I mean, you have until the end of the month. They said that they're going to do it until the end of the month. So it seems like they could keep working on the ranking if it sucks, but no, I know Player One's ranking. I'm talking about people saying that one's better. Like the entire Brawl Discord sees the leaked ranking is what I was asking. Oh, that's what I meant. Anyway. What were we on? Neo Contra. Yeah, this game. It's kind of Contra Rogue Core done right, but unfortunately, that's only so good. It's a decent game, but I would never. It's got the same hit rate annoyances. Same old annoying hit rate requirements. Let's see. Now, Frisk is panelist, so he thinks P1's this better, which oh, so I guess you can't see the leaked list then. Thing is, I was like not sure how they were gonna do a full top 20 because some of these people just have no wins, and honestly, it's partly because Monarch did not do pools. If Monarch did pools, we would have had way more data, but they did all these meme events instead, like Summit. All the Smash Summits always did like pools and stuff, but they didn't do that there, so I don't know. It's like some people just have like no wins, and they're gonna be top 20 basically. But I mean, for this game is pretty decent for what it is. I didn't really have much problem with the design. I just don't like it to the point where I'm gonna, try hard and get the best ending and all that stuff. But definitely the difficulty is lower than Shattered Soldier by a lot. Yeah, I'm actually curious who is on the top 20 because, like, what? Like, Ish would be like 16, but he didn't really beat anyone that would be above him on the top. I can tell you Frisk's gonna be... What? Wait, so Azazel is on there? Azazel is top 20? I mean, Azazel has a shootout win, but I don't know what else he did. Okay, so that sounds crazy. What else is crazy is that, oh, so you don't actually know the leaked thing. What's crazy is Zenon has one bracket win, and it's me, because I, went Kirby on and Marth. So that's his one bracket win. He's probably going to be top 20. He has one total bracket win. What else? I actually forgot what else I was going to say, but stuff like that. Oh yeah, like Fino has like 3 bracket wins, but he's probably going to be super high up, so that's kind of weird. Like he went 3-2 in bracket, and he's going to be ranked 8th in the world basically, so I don't know. 8th, around there. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird. Yeah. That's why I'm just not gonna. I just can't take it that seriously. But yeah, it was a fun game. Brawl was really fun, and I still play Brawl. But I can't take it that seriously competitively to where I'm investing that much time and money and all that, and traveling and all that stuff for multiple years in a row. It was just gonna be a one year little thing for me, basically. Yeah, I think that's kind of silly, because imagine if I went to, imagine if I just skipped Monarch. Like, I would actually be higher on the rank, which I should have probably. But I did enjoy. I did enjoy winning doubles at that though. But yeah, I mean, I'm moving out of state as well. I'm doing all unfortunate stuff IRL happening, so I'm not even gonna be. I had to move out of state, and then I'll be in Kansas, so I might do Smash in the future at some point and try to be rank 1 in Kansas in Melee or something. But that's, a future thing. Don't look at my members' recommendations. Contra 4. Oh right, that was this stream, so it's not on YouTube. Oh shit, Contra 4 was this stream. Yeah, I gotta be honest. Yeah, I hated Contra 4. Oh yeah, see ya. Enjoy. I heard that guy lost to Fino, by the way, online, but I don't know. It seems like he doesn't enjoy the game to the same degree that he used to, probably. Contra 4 I beat this stream, so I can't look at the gameplay. But I thought this game, first of all, Japanese developers knew to not use the double screens for side-scroller action games. Whoa, where's my playlist for DS? Do I not have a DS playlist? What happened? Oh, there it is. So, I mean... you look at all these games, like Super Princess Peach, this is a game for babies, right? But they knew, also, this game is, like, pretty gorgeous. I forgot about that. They knew, keep the action to one screen. And then they got this, but that's actually... these are actual mechanics as well. Yoshi Touch and Go, I forgot about that game. Castlevania also, keep screen to, keep the action to a single screen. Where's my... Oh, wait, I haven't played a lot of my favorite DS games on stream yet. Dude, why the fuck is this recommended to me? But no, like Super Mario, Kirby, they knew to keep action to a single screen. Contra 4, for whatever reason, first of all, everyone hates Yoshi's Island DS for its... Okay, not hate, but everyone agrees that it's a flaw that this game is double screen. This is a baby's game. Yoshi is Nintendo's baby franchise. And yet, you know, this game is way harder than it needs to be because of the 2 screens. And funny enough, I found something like Contra 4. Contra 4. Fuck, that was... Yeah, this game's annoying. Yeah, so like, look at this description. It's funny. Yeah, so this guy's like, this is my most difficult playthrough I've ever done, but not the most frustrating. Yoshi's Island DS wins that title. First of all, what are the odds? But also, what do these games share in common? They've got the 2-screen shit going on. Okay, so Yoshi's Island DS, first of all, it's annoying, and it's the worst thing about the game, but, you know, it is a baby's game. The thing is with Contra is that, you know, and the whole point of this game is trying to be hardcore. It's a return to the form or something. Even though, you know, Contra, the point was never... Actually, I like this game. I don't know. I'll put Contra 4 above it. The point was never that Contra is hard when it first came out. It was actually just like a normal video game, like anything else. But then, you know, way forward, it's like, oh, I think this is how Contra's it's supposed to be hard, right? That's the whole point. So then they make this obnoxious video game that uses 2 screens because I really don't think they know what they're doing. Like, the fact that stuff like Mario didn't even bother to do 2 screens on the DS, except for those gimmicky games that aren't real, like, mainline titles. This is a mainline title. This is a mainline Contra game. It's actually Contra 4 is the insane thing. Yeah, I mean, the difficulty in this game is not earned. I actually think this game is just badly designed. First of all, there's so much trial and error bullshit anyways, but also the fact that you've got this huge gap and stuff that you can hardly react to. And also, enemies have killed me when they're not even in view, like just they're right here and they kill me. It's happened in this game. You got a whole fucking screen gap that just hides stuff that you need to avoid. No, I just think this game is bad. I just think it's really bad. That was my... First of all, you get rewarded for dying on purpose in this game. If you die, but at the same time you get an extra life, you get 99 lives. So this is a game that rewards you for doing badly on purpose, which is very weird. Very weird design choice. I don't know why they did that. Now these sections suck. What's crazy is that these sections were like, yeah, we're gonna do 1-screen action and have the map on the bottom screen. We're not gonna try to do 2-screen action. First of all, I feel like, yeah, I actually think the game would have been fine if it was just 1 screen on for the side scrollers. But for this, they're backpedaling. First of all, does this add anything to tunnels like map? This doesn't mean anything. This does not help you in any way. It's just there. First of all, the graphics are fucking ugly, and you can't even aim in multiple directions. You can only shoot forward in this. Also, I completely forgot that in this game you have to mash. Starting from the 16-bit generation, you don't have to mash in Contra anymore. You just hold the button and it's turbo. That's how these games started to be. Like, I'm 90% sure. All of these games. But for some reason, this game first of all, DS doesn't have replacement controllers. You have to replace the... It's very easy to mash a button in to the point it's not usable on DS anymore. I know because I have a DS actually back there. My childhood DS, I did that with. I had to get a replacement because the button didn't work anymore. This game wants you to mash. Even though you have no controller replacements. Why the fuck don't they have a turbo mode? A turbo, just hold well, they kind of do. Well, actually, I don't know. It's you'll notice that there's parts in the game you can't get through unless you mash. Like the tunnel thing that I showed. It's required that you mash. So turbo is just completely unreliable and sucks, and everything in this game is also already feels like a bullet sponge. And if you're not mashing, it's gonna take even longer. So it's crazy. It's crazy. What was... Oh, we need more music. Contra. Oh, so we're doing Contra Hardcore Uprising OST. Do I remember the soundtrack? I don't know, not really. No, I mean, even just this game is so visually misleading as well. That there's just jumps you just can't tell that you can make. Because they're not using tiles here. They're doing this weird, I don't even know how you want to describe it, but the you know, colliders are not apparent. The ground is not apparent in many of these jumping sections. So you're just visually misled into death in this game. Holy shit, 3 hours. You're visually misled in this game, and it's very frustrating. These tunnel sections are not, like, are you gonna actually sit here and tell me that these tunnel sections are good? First of all, they're just doing this for nostalgia. Oh, Contra 1 had tunnel sections. They were iconic. Let's add tunnel sections to Contra 4. It's not even, like, interesting. The top-down sections were, well, maybe not in Alien Wars, but, you know, supersede top-down sections, I would say. Way better than this. And this whole thing, like, I mean, the 3D is really ugly. And the you know, the fact that it's a sprite on 3D and stuff. And a lot of stuff is visually confusing in these top-down sections as well. First, I just really don't think that WayForward knows what they're doing. This is what happens when you let whiteys develop Contra. Indie, you know, it comes off as an amateurish indie game. Does not deserve the title of Contra 4. I don't know how that was allowed. I know it's just the fact that Konami stopped making video games. Oh yeah, and like if you die in this game, it's super disadvantageous. Like you really need level 2 weapon, or else you're in a really bad spot, especially like just compared to other Contra games. You're in a much worse spot than you'd normally be. These tunnel sections actually prove to be pretty easy. Once you know what to do, like once you've played them before, pretty easy to go through and not die. Yeah, I mean the way that you approach this game is pretty fucking lame. Like, you're just as far away as possible with your homing attack, looking up. I mean, the fact that this is even in Contra is kind of, okay. The fact that this is even in Contra is kind of, like, makes no sense to me. Like, why is it a vertical game and not in the way that, like, in the arcade ones were? It's vertically designed, and it's just like so forced and shitty. It just doesn't work well. They're just always trying to do things with 2 screens at a time, like give you power-ups on the bottom screen. It just works so shittily, dude. I don't like Contra 4. I think it's a bad video game, to be honest. That being said, at least the graphics are, you know, pretty good. Because WayForward can do good graphics, everyone knows this. That's why Shantae is a successful franchise. It's pretty much the main reason. But anyway, yeah, I said what I needed to. My playthrough for Contra 4 will be up. I just don't respect the video game, so I did not give it you know, I did not care about mastering it like I would for, you know, the actual good Contra games. I could care less about mastering that game or getting good at that game. I think it's bad, so I did what I needed to get to the end. It was a 1cc, by the way. Did what I needed to get to the end, and I'm done with it now. And, you know, it's got all these unlockables. I don't care. I'm done. Contra 4, disappointing. The fact that Way Forward, you know, their next game was not good either. It's really telling. It's really telling. Their next Contra game wasn't good. So these guys really don't know what they're doing. But yeah, this one's like, I at least appreciate that this one actually tried to be challenging. Maybe its intentions could be argued to be good. I think they just really didn't really care that much. Like, I actually think the game is probably barely playtested, and that's why you got the 99 lives trick. It should have been to the point where someone's played it enough to where, you know, they discover that, but apparently it never happens in playtesting, and it just makes me think that the game wasn't playtested much. Rogue Core is so shitty, man. Rogue Core is everything that sucks about modern video games, and it has no real content. It's just reusing assets throughout the game to freaking waste your time. I hate this game. I absolutely hate this game. It's so boring. It's just extremely repetitive. They make these assets and they just place enemies repeatedly in the levels over and over. You're just killing the same bosses and enemies over and over. There's no unique content. Back in the day, content actually meant something in Contra. You know, it's like, oh shit, there's this level, there's this boss. It's completely original when you play it for the first time. This game has nothing like that because it's just reusing enemy assets, spam. It's just throwing spam into your face. And the fact is, skill, people have declared this the hardest Contra game, but the fact is that skill does not matter in this game. It wants you to waste your time to make your character stronger. This is a progression-based game that's about making your character stronger, not about getting good at the game. If you try to get through the game with no upgrades or anything, it's an absolutely miserable experience. It's a miserable experience either way because it's boring, but if you're trying to get through with no upgrades or whatever, yeah, I mean, no, I think I said everything I needed to. This game's also really ugly and unappealing and unfunny. It tries to be, it has these really shitty humor. Why are they throwing like an enemy onto the screen? It's crazy because this is the co-directed by Hardcore, Shattered Soldier guy, Alien Wars, like the Contra guy, right? I don't know. I think they're like, oh, this is like what modern video games are right? I mean, also the fact is that hold up. Well, this is not technically a Konami game, but I think, you know, the staff at Konami really carried a lot of these games because Konami was literally the #1 developer. Why is it cold? It's cold as fuck. Was the #1 developer of the 4th generation. So it was really, really impossible for them to make something that was not quality. Their talent was too high. So even if maybe this guy is kind of not, maybe this guy's a fraudulent director in a way. Wow, this music's cool. As far as like the credit he received, because I mean, first of all, he backpedaled on this game. He's like, okay, 3-hit death. Oh wait, no, 1-hit death. You know, like that's the director's decision. And then everything else in the game is just so well done because it's Konami. Maybe that's the deal. No, this game's fucking horrible, dude. It's an assault on all of the senses, but you know, primarily you're just like, you feel like you're dying when you play this game. You're falling asleep. Your brain is losing brain cells, and I don't know. It's just, the thing is that it's probably not in the grand scheme. I mean, it's just using modern game design, like progression systems and shit. But the fact is that is the fact that it's in a Contra game is so insulting. Like, I don't touch games like this. Maybe this game is good for people that like progression systems, and look, I actually don't know how you could actually end up liking this game. I actually don't know. Holy fuck. Wait, I have 2 part 7s? No! I have to change, or part 6s. I have to change that. Why is it recommending me that? There we go. Alright. Fixed. But no, I mean, this game has no good qualities. I mean, I like that you can play as a panda, I guess. But no, this game has 0 good qualities. It's everything horrible about modern video games. You start to realize you're not missing out on anything. Like, this is how modern video games are, so there's no point to engage with them. Essentially, it's like what I walk away from this feeling is like, okay, this is what video games have devolved into. I'm gonna keep playing 4th generation because, you know, they're real video games. That's how I felt walking away from this one. Just an absolute. You just felt like I was probably like on drugs half the time. Like, I was probably drunk. I was probably high playing this game because it's the only way to make it semi-tolerable. It's the only way to make it, give it like any sort of challenge, right? But even then, it sucks. Like, I probably still wasn't having fun at all. I was just dulling the senses so that I can, you know, it's like eating shit. You know, you dull the senses so you can eat shit. So that's what's the deal. I guess I don't think it's as bad as Legacy of War still, because at least it's a functional video game. So this is like eating shit, but it's not functional. This is shit, but at least it works how they intended it, I guess. But if you want like a real video game in this style, you just play Neo Contra. It's like pretty similar gameplay, but it's an actual video game. That's the crazy thing, is it actually did take from Neo Contra, which doesn't make sense. What was the logic behind this game? I don't know what the logic was. Like, Neo Contra is not really thought of that fondly, but they're like, oh, we can try it again. We can try it again, but use modern progression systems instead of like actual levels that, you know, maybe take a little bit of skill, some boss patterns in there. Nah, dude, nothing matters. Just make your character strong by wasting your life. That's what matters in this game. Okay, so Contra Rebirth. This is a real return to form for Contra. Contra Rebirth. You know why? Because M2 actually knows what they're doing. M2 is a, they know they're doing with Castlevania. They, even Haunted Castle Revisited. Kind of like an easy, forgettable Castlevania game, but still fun, and a huge improvement on the actual original Haunted Castle. You can't really go wrong with M2. Or can you? Did they make something bad? I don't know. I can't remember if they ever made something bad. Yeah, and I even replayed this game after this as well. No, this is like pretty much exact. Like, obviously it's on the easier side because there's unlimited continues, but I mean, you can always try to 1cc. It's a very fairly designed game. The design language is good. That's why I was able to dodge that. I mean, it'd be pretty hard. Okay, I suck at this right now, but I did end up figuring out this boss. All right, I promise. Yeah, this gameplay is pretty poor, and I don't think if I went back, it would not be so poor for this. But that's the thing. When you got a game that's like pretty forgiving, is that you can get through the game, but it's not pretty. It's not pretty. That's kind of the deal here. So I think it's a really good game with great music. It even... Holy shit, my gameplay sucks in this. Holy shit. So like the music, I mean, the thing is, I actually thought the game was kind of ugly on the emulator Dolphin. And I checked it out on Wii. I also played it on Wii because it just took 1 hour to load for some reason, so that's why I didn't play it on Wii. I would have otherwise. Yeah, it was unclear what I was supposed to do at that point. But I realized the game actually looks really good on Wii. It's just not apparent when you're playing on Dolphin, I guess. That the game actually looks really good. And I was using GameCube controller, which kind of sucks for this game, but... No, I mean, this game did not disappoint. It's just like, you know, Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth, which is obviously based on, you know, a Game Boy game. That being said, this is based on nothing. It's completely original, right? So, that's cool. They even made Brownie a girl for some reason. Female robot in this one. I don't know why. They got a lizard, which seemed to be a much better character. And also, you have to play on easy mode to unlock Brownie, which I think is kind of stupid. But no, I think it's a really well-designed game with really good music. I'm glad they brought back like a lot of the tunes that were iconic from Contra, and it's just not like a standout like, oh shit, this is like absolute classic video game, like some of these titles. But no, I think it's like, for me, it's like, oh shit. Well, no, I like Super Contra more than that. No, for me, it's like probably 5th or 6th best Contra. There's one other one that might be like 6th best, or 5th best, rather. You can't go wrong with this game. It's really well done. M2, you know, unlike WayForward, which is just an indie Western developer, M2 is a Japanese arcade developer. They understand arcade games. They, you know, make collections. They... with all these, you know, features, they prove they understand the actual game. Shmup developer also, M2. Let me actually take a look at what M2 does. M2 Video Games. It's just very apparent that M2 has a much higher understanding of Contra, classic game design, arcade game design, than WayForward. It's just very apparent. Oh yeah, they got the fucking 3D. Like, look at M2, dude. They did all the 3D classics. Like, they understand these games. That's why they can do those Rebirth titles. Which I thought were really neat. All of the Rebirth games, I haven't played the Gradius one yet, but Contra and Castlevania were really neat, and so is Haunted Castle Revisited. I know that they probably have all these, like, shmups that they make now. They got, like, weird, like, One Piece games and stuff. Wait, where's Castlevania? Oh, it was the same year. Wow, they got these like 5 months apart, dude. Yo, you were eating. If you were in 2009, you were eating, man. And this was like not too long before that. Maybe I'm just ignorant towards the stuff that comes out nowadays because they got like a new Shinobi game. Sega's doing some stuff, I guess. I don't know, is it like a Metroidvania? Or is it a real video game? Shinobi, the new one. But no, I played the new Ninja Gaiden game and it was fraudulent. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm not missing out on much in the modern year. But in 2009, if you weren't playing this, you were missing out, dude. Steins Gate. Did a PC port? Wow, they were still releasing... I don't know why it's surprising to me that they were releasing 3DS stuff in 2016, because Switch was not even out yet. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, hell no! To be fair, I've not played it, but I just don't like Bomberman, but yeah. Alright, like, TurboGrafx Mini is great. Alright, moving on. Alright, so Contra Hardcore has some really good music. To be honest. I'm surprised. I don't remember the soundtrack that much. Speaking of the game, Contra Okay. Hardcore Uprising. So, the best player in the world. I was able to play this with the best player in the world. Also, I played this game without glasses because my glasses actually broke during this time. So I actually missed a lot of important stuff that was on the screen. Big disclaimer there. Where is the freaking thing? Did I not put it in here? There it is. So this game, you know, at first I was like, holy shit, this game's like really hard. I'm gonna have to get good. But then the more I died, usually I would just reset if I died, but then I found out if I game over, it gives me continues. Like after a certain amount of game overs or something, it rewards you for dying in this game with continues. And also, you can like make your character stronger over time. I forget exactly how that works, but that's also stupid. I feel like Contra should be entirely based. I know there's like maybe an arcade mode. I'm pretty sure continues still apply to arcade mode. The you know, upgrades and stuff is for the other mode. But yeah, I ended up not having to actually get good at this game because one, it gives you continues if you die, you know. And then two, I ended up playing the game with the best player in the world. Also, I had no glasses. I couldn't see shit, I promise. I was playing this game with the best player in the world, so obviously he carried me a bit. He carried me. But, you know, also this character, Sayuri, is really fun. Sayuri is fun. That, like, she actually is like a combination of like Ninja Gaiden and Contra, which I think is very quite cool feeling. That must have been me because that was horrible. But also, yeah, so the input lag was really bad. This was online on PS3, no Ethernet. Imagine how PS3 online feels in big year 2025 when this was played. Not great. It was pretty hard to avoid stuff, I suppose, with the lag. But no, I like the graphics. At least the characters are very. The characters look very nice. I don't know how I feel about the 3D setting as much. Overall, I would say it's quite a good looking game. Much better than this crap. There were some parts where I'm like, they don't really feel like Contra. Some parts didn't really feel like Contra. So, let's see if I can find it. I mean, you know, besides the fact that this, you know, it really did play quite like Ninja Gaiden with this character. Oh yeah, shop and customize. That's what I'm talking about. You make your character strong in this game. You don't. It's not all about skill in the main mode, which I think is kind of dumb and kind of like lacking confidence in their design. You know, like what I love about classic video games, there's no difficulty settings or anything like that. They know how they want the experience to be. They committed. These games committed, except for like Alien Wars. Did not quite commit to its design. I'm pretty sure these games did though. These games definitely did. Alien Wars, like, okay, this is pretty fucking hard. We'll allow you to start with 7 lives. I guess. I'm trying to find the section. Yeah, so this part, I thought, you know, some of these parts in this game don't quite feel like Contra, and are honestly not very engaging. This level I don't think is very good. And I think there's even, you know, a stealth sort of level eventually. Like, this might be it, I don't know. There's some sort of stealth level which didn't quite dig. It says oil, but it's quite stylized. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like these sections where you're just waiting. I don't really like these auto-scroll sections in this game. That's where I think the game is kind of a bit. It's a bit weaker for me because of all of this stuff, and you know, just the fact that you earn continues by dying. You can get 573 continues in this game if you die enough times, if you game over, and you can make your character stronger. That's where I'm like, okay, I'm not too keen on these design decisions. So for that, I would probably put it below Contra Rebirth. I think Contra Rebirth is a bit more solid, a bit, you know, kind of what I would want more in that from a Contra game. So yeah, but you know, overall it's a good game for sure. And it's the only Contra game I've played 2-player for, which I'm happy about. I got to play some form of Contra in 2-player also. 3-hit death, I guess. I kind of prefer when Contra's 1-hit death, but I don't know. They didn't do that here. I guess they thought that, I don't know, when you have 1-hit death, it kind of like, I feel like it almost guarantees that the design is more solid. Because everything's got to be really fair if you die in 1 hit. Which, what did I die to today? What? Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck. Oh, what? That thing. Okay. Anyway. Contra Evolution. Okay. So, I did play that because on PC in some form. This game really I just like, you know, what's funny is I would actually put this like above those games, because these games are like infuriating, right? This game, well, not really. This game's just really boring. This game's infuriating. This game is just really boring as well. This game, Chinese arcade game, Chinese mobile game, something like that. Oh my god, look how like everything's a bullet sponge in this game, and that's also, everything being a bullet sponge in Contra 4 is also a reason why I didn't like it very much. Let me be clear about that. Contra 4 also has this problem. Probably not to the same degree, to be honest. And this game's also mashing. But holy fuck, things just drag on forever in this game for no reason. Like, everything is just a bullet sponge. It takes forever to kill. The game has no soul. It's like a remake of Contra 1. Which means it's just stealing all its ideas. That being said, this is probably better than the tunnel sections in Contra 4, and I'm not joking. I probably think this is better, to be honest, than the tunnel sections in that game. So, I mean, this game's not even bad, that bad, for its design. But I just thought the game was so terribly boring and had no soul, and I couldn't give any shits about it. Partially because, you know, I probably played it during a Contra marathon, but also, why would I have any sort of attachment to this game? Does not make sense why I would have any... Holy shit, this game's ugly. I saw people say, this game's kind of like claymation style. Wait, why am I dying? Oh wait, I was playing with keyboard, that's why. Controls, yeah. I'm not a keyboard side-scroll player. I can't do that shit. So what do we got? We got Operation Galaga. So what's funny is people call this like sort of clay. They say it looks like clay, but that's also true for Operation Galaga. Actually, I think this is the arcade mode of Galaga. I think this is me playing the arcade mode, which I gave this game more respect than it deserves because I was playing like multiple modes. Why did I do that? It's because at one point I was like, okay, I'm gonna give all the Contra games the respect, but no, it's at the point where no, I'm not gonna do that, and because of that, I'm not gonna make a real like highly edited scripted video for Contra. I'm just doing this low effort tier list video because I did not really treat all of these games equally. I guess. Yeah, this game's also pretty ugly. This game is also completely soulless. I don't even have much to say about this game because I don't remember anything. It's just like, you know, your typical modern soulless game No real difficulty, I guess. I mean, maybe if you're doing 1cc, but why'd you do 1cc with this? But the game, it has no cool factor, no badassery. The humor was super cringe. I believe I'm listening to Castlevania music in this game. They just put, like, what are you doing? Put, yeah, just put Castlevania music in the game, I guess. Okay. Well, I guess I'll listen to the Castlevania music because you didn't put any real music. If you added real music to the game that I could listen to, I wouldn't have to put on the Castlevania music. Why is that even here? They're really just relying on people's nostalgia for this, for the purchase. This game cannot stand... First of all, it's also way forward, which proves that they kind of fraudulent. They don't know what they're doing. The Castlevania music. You die in like 5 hits. What the fuck? Okay, I guess you die in 5 hits in this game. God, this game sucks, dude. I don't know what to say. This game has no soul. Very mediocre. There's like an air dash thing because, you know, gotta have an air dash if you're making a modern side scroller game. That's the logic. Some sort of air, like, what the fuck? I don't know. This game's just some. It's just, you know. Don't get me wrong. It's way better than a lot of these games, but it's just like that Chinese arcade mobile game I just showed. Has no soul. And just like that game is kind of going for like a weird sort of like clay art style. Also, you see how I'm like doing like doing the different weapons? That actually works in this game. And apparently it's really broken in this game, which is actually true. I remember that. Switching between weapons is super broken in this game. No, there's just no reason to care about this game. No one really likes this game. I don't think anyone really likes this game. It is very much a mediocre creation. I would put it there. It's probably the weakest of all of these games because I don't even have much to say about it. Right? You just use the fucking homing thing, turn your brain off. There's so much horizontal view that, which by the way, Rebirth didn't have this problem. Right? What's the problems of WayForward's Contra games? You got too much verticality for the DS. You got vertical view. You got forced dual screen level design for the DS game, and then this gives you so much horizontal view that, you know, you just use the homing attack, homing missile, and everything is trivialized because the enemies are not even near you, but you can still attack them. So I don't know, this game's just it's very mediocre. But anyway, as things stand, this is my Contra. This is my personal. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing FFF. This is my personal Contra tier list. I'm just being honest about my experiences with this franchise. You know, maybe some stuff is like, this is probably controversial, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. You know, I didn't treat all of these games equally. I did not like all of these games equally. But I did beat all of the games at the very least by different means. Some were like, you know, hard mode. Others were like, you know, I'm just gonna get it clear and be done with it. And then this is like, yeah, I'm doing the 99 lives because I don't like this game. That's what we're dealing with. So, you know, I didn't treat all of these games fairly. I didn't even play these games. But I'm glad to have experienced the Contra series overall. And this is my low effort tier list video. And I feel like I'm going to lose my voice as well, but yeah, we're done.